So in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 and verse 2, the Bible says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Note that word, race. Race that is set before us. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. You see, when you and I got born again, we entered into a race. The race started. And this race is not a 100-meter dash. The race is like a marathon. At the starting block, there are many people, multitudes. When you look from top, you see a sea of heads, too numerous to count when the race starts. By the time they are finishing, a day, 2 days later, you discover that many had fallen off. Listen carefully. That is what the Christian race is like. So it is not how well you started, how well you finish is what matters. The man that you started that race with yesterday, that you thought was Jim brother, might backslide tomorrow. If your faith is tied to him, God forbid that you backslide with him. One of the signs of the end times is that, number one, men become lovers of themselves. They love themselves so much that they don't even care about their fellow brethren in church. Your brother didn't come to church, you haven't seen him for how long, and you don't care to look for your brother or for your sister. It is the sign of the end times. Are you not guilty? When was the last time you didn't see somebody in church and you went to look for that person? Now we are so busy, we can't even do follow-up. Follow-up. New converts have come. New visitors have come to church. We can't follow them up. We call them signs of the end time. We call them on the phone. You know, in the church now, people love pleasure. You know that? There's nothing wrong with pleasure. There's nothing wrong with pleasure. If we live for Christ, there are things we can never, even if they put gun to our head, we can never do. Can never do. There are things that cannot happen by accident. A Christian, there are things you cannot do. So listen carefully. The Bible says we should look to who? Jesus. Why? Because man will fail. If you are looking to that man, the man will fail you. Let's read 1 John chapter 2 and see what the Bible says we should avoid in these last days. It said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Did you see that? If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. So I'm going to give us a few points that we should note in this Christian race. Number one, Jesus Christ is the one who died for us in order to save us from the wrath to come. No man died for you. Jesus died for you. Number two, he has gone to prepare a place for us, and he will return to take us with him. Number 3, Jesus and Jesus alone is our perfect example. Is the author of our faith and the one we are to follow. Man may fail us, but Jesus will never fail us. Number 4, when we came to Christ, listen carefully, and this many people have forgotten. When we came to Christ, we became new creatures. Are you there? The me that you see today is not the me that I was born when I was born. The me that was born on the 15th of February 1961 died. The old had passed away. And when the old passed away with the old man, it passed away with the old worldly ways and worldly music. Listen carefully. If Paul said, if he that is an unbeliever bid you come, he said you can go if you are disposed. You can go. But when they begin to do things that you know are not right, what do? You respectfully leave. Number 5, as truly born again Christians, we do not return to lifestyles that we forsook when we came to Christ. Number 6, in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, we were told that worldly music is forbidden. Number 7, we have been called out of this world and we are to separate ourselves from the world. Anytime we mingle with the world and behave like the world, what we don't know is that, number 1, the whole world is under the control of Satan, Lucifer. When we dance the music of the world, we are bowing to Satan. 1 John chapter 5 verse 19 says the whole world lies under the control of the wicked one. So you dance to worldly music. Who inspired that music? Lucifer. You are bowing to him. You copy what they are doing in the world. Who inspired them? Lucifer. You are bowing to him. And that's why anytime I see in the church that we are doing the things that came from the world, I speak against it. Like the red carpet. Where did the red carpet come from? And it has entered the church. The devil fights the cross. The devil doesn't like the church talking about the cross. And you can go anywhere in the world. Google. Check how many churches they talk about the cross. Apart from Easter. Apart from during Easter. All of a sudden during Easter, everybody talks about the cross. Are you there? But we need to keep our eyes fixed. Why? Somebody said Jesus is no more on the cross. No, we are not. Our eyes are not on the cross because Jesus is on the cross. No. Our eyes are on the cross to remind us of what it took for us to be saved. The suffering of Jesus on that cross in order for us to be saved. When our eyes are on that cross, we remember that on that cross, somebody cried, my God, why have you forsaken me? And why did God forsake him? Because of you and I. When you remember that, it will be difficult for you to take your salvation lightly.